In this video, I'm going to be showing you the most important thing that you need to know before you start publishing books on Amazon KDP. Hello, my name is Ben McQueeney, and if you haven't been to this channel before, I make videos on how you can make a great passive income, making and selling books on Amazon KDP. And if that sounds like something you like the sound of, then please subscribe to my channel, leave it a like, and hit that notification bell. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so there are three overriding metrics you should be focused on for success on Amazon KDP. Now, this applies to all books, so that could be low content books, medium content books, or high content books. So you could be making notebooks, you could be making guided journals, or you could be making fiction books or non-fiction books, okay? And the first metric is this, awareness, okay? A buyer needs to be aware of your book to buy it, don't they? If people don't know about your book, how can they buy it? Okay, so we need to make sure that the first thing that we are interested in is getting as much awareness for your book as possible. The next metric is clicks. A buyer needs to be motivated enough to click on your book link. Without this, there will be no sales. So that first part, getting awareness, very good, yeah, but now we need to convert that awareness into clicks, okay? So how do we get people aware of our book, but then get them to click on the book, okay? To click through to your page. And the last metric is obviously sales. So multiple buyers need to buy your book for you to make royalties and to be successful on KDP, okay? Now, in this video, we are going to be talking about how each one of these metrics fits together and how you can influence each. Now, these metrics are the most important measures to get right, and they should be the three things that you focus on continuously when you are developing your Amazon KDP business. If any of the above three measures are broken, underperforming, you will not be successful on Amazon KDP. So for example, if you have a whole heap of awareness, people know about your book, there's a lot of people who are aware of your book, but they're not clicking it, then they're not going to buy it, are they? Similarly, if you are getting lots of clicks on your book, but people are not buying it, then you're not going to be successful because you're not making any royalties. So it's literally that simple. Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the relationship between these three metrics. And as you can see here, look at this fantastic drawing that I have done on Excel. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? So this is what I like to call an awareness sink, okay? So we are thinking of a sink, right? Now, when we fill the sink, this is the awareness or the people who may be interested in our particular book, okay? Now, when we fill our sink with people who may be interested, some people may not be interested, so they're going to leak out of our little sink, okay? But there will be people who are interested, which will then go down the drain to our click zone, okay? But why I use this kind of analogy, this kind of sink analogy, is because sometimes people will just sit in the sink for a while. People will sit there and need to be kind of constantly shown that you have a product available. They need to be convinced that you've got something to offer them before they will go down that plug hole and eventually press the link to your particular book. To get sales, buyers must first be made aware, okay? So we are going to be making them aware and we're going to be filling up our awareness sink, okay? Only a section of total awareness will click, right? So out of all these people who potentially know about our book, there'll only be a certain amount who will actually go down this plug hole and click and to actually see your book. Therefore, awareness must be continuous. Right? So I've got this little tap at the top that's constantly filling this awareness sink in. And guess what? If you turn off your tap, what happens? The sink empties and then there is no more potential to get any more clicks. So we need to constantly drip more awareness into our awareness sink. If the awareness sink runs out, equals no more sales, which isn't what we want, is it? Okay, so if we go down to the click zone, yeah, if someone has clicked, then they are to some extent interested in your book, okay? Because obviously for you to be interested in anything in the world when you are looking online, you're going to click on it, aren't you, okay? So if someone has clicked your book, all the hard work's already been done. They've been interested enough to actually click on the book to see what the book's about. But now that that person is there, we need to convince them to buy. And this is a matter of trust. We need to give them trust in our product so that they will go ahead and buy. And the way we do that is to make sure that our book meets their particular need. And when I'm talking about needs, you need to understand your audience. What do your audience want? Okay, so consistent sales from your clicks, therefore, is the art of supplying a regular stream of potentially interested buyers to your book sales page and then convincing them that your book best suits their need. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain how we can improve our awareness, improve our clicks, and ultimately our sales. So the first thing we need to do is we need to fill our tank, our awareness sink, okay? And the way that we can do that is by three main areas. So the first one is outreach. So that is where we are going out into onto the internet and we are kind of posting about our brand, posting about our books. So that's things like social media. Grabbing people, from the world, getting them onto an email list and staying in touch with them and keeping them nice and warm through email marketing. So that's the first way to keep awareness of your brand and your books. The next one is having optimized metadata. Okay, so that is your things like your keywords that you would have on Amazon, so people can find your book with keywords related to your book. And also the categories selection, which you can get on your KDP dashboard, okay? And the last one is paid ads, okay? So paying for awareness on Amazon through Amazon Marketing Services. Now, there are the three main ways that you can fill your awareness sink. So just quickly going back to the relationships, we need to constantly keep this being filled so that we get clicks, so that we get sales. So this needs to be a continuous thing, doesn't it? So these are the three ways that we can do it. Now, I just wanted to talk about the relationship between these three methods, okay? So, first we're going to talk about work, how much work these things take. So, if we are looking at this on a scale of things that are work light, so it doesn't take much work, to things that are work heavy, does take a little bit of work, okay? And we can plonk these three methods of awareness on that particular scale. So, for example, having ads, running ads to your book is work light, okay? You can kind of set your ads and you can check it, every few days and make little tweaks to it, okay? And it will do all the work for you in the background. Amazon will be putting your book in front of potential buyers, right? So it's quite work light. So at the other end, the work heavy end, is this kind of outreach, okay? So running our social media channels and doing regular email marketing and stuff. It's quite resource heavy, okay? And sitting in the middle is our optimized metadata. And what I mean by that is things like finding your keywords, blending your keywords, making sure you've got the right title, making sure that your description's got a kind of search engine optimization and things like that. It does take a bit of work, but it kind of sits in the middle in terms of that work light, work heavy scale, okay? But if you have a look here in terms of cost, then this is low cost, and at the other end, high cost. So in terms of the outreach, which again is the social media and email marketing, well, that's going to cost light, isn't it? Okay, because email marketing pretty much is free, okay, and also the social media is free, but again it does take a lot of work, okay. So your optimized metadata doesn't need to have cost associated with it because you can use free methods to find your keywords and so on and so forth, but I put it there just in case you're using a paid tool like Publisher Rocket or Self-Publishing Titans. And what I've put at the other end of the cost heavy scale is ads, okay? Because obviously if you are running a lot of ads to a lot of books, the costs are going to start to mount up, okay? But the work for those ads is actually quite light, okay? Just as, yes, okay, we're going to be doing quite a lot of outreach, social media and the like, but that would be quite low in cost, okay? So that's the relationship between the two. So what you need to ask yourself is you need to sort of think, well, okay, I do have this kind of time to be able to do this outreach, and I can keep my kind of costs low or nothing, right? But as you start to make more royalties on your KDP business, you can start to run more ads, can't you? Which will save you more time when you're doing other things, okay? Which means you can be making other books, for example. Okay, so that was awareness, and now we're going to talk about how do we get clicks. So the first thing that we need to do when we are getting clicks is make sure that we are maximizing our link, okay? Now I've mentioned this a few times in the last couple of videos, and we need to create a universal book link to ensure that you promote one link and it's country correct, okay? Now, when you publish your book on Amazon KDP, you get a whole lot of links for different stores in different countries. Now, if you create one universal book link, that means that you can promote that one link everywhere, okay? And that's a clever link which will send people to the correct store dependent on wherever they are in the world. So if I pressed it in the UK, it would send me to the .co.uk store. So those universal book links would be used on things like your social media posts and your email marketing. Okay, so the next one, and the absolute most important one to get clicks for your book, is to have a genre-appealing, high-quality book cover, okay? Because your book cover is your shop window. People need to be captivated by that book cover so that they will actually click onto your book. No one in the world is clicking on a pants book cover. No one. And the absolute best way to get a book cover which is appropriate for your genre is to simply go onto Amazon, look at the bestseller lists for your particular genre, and have a look at similarities. What characteristics do all these books have? Do they have similar colours? Do they have similar kind of imagery? You know, what does the font look like? How big is it? You know, these sort of questions you need to ask yourself, and you need to make something similar, okay? It's not great to do something completely different. You need a specific way of creating your book cover to fit into that genre, okay? The people have an expectation on certain books. If you came in with a random crazy book cover for a particular genre, people are not going to be interested in it. They're going to think it's silly, okay? So you need to make sure that your book cover is appropriate for your particular genre. And another great way to get clicks for your books is to give away stuff for free. It's universally recognised that all humans like things for free, so why don't you take advantage of that? Give some stuff away for free, and the stuff that you're giving away for free has what? Your universal book link to the products that you're trying to sell. So we convince people that they like our brand, okay, and then we nudge them through to our book that we are trying to sell, okay? So for a fiction author, for instance, you could have a short story. It could be a prequel of a particular, let's just say that you are doing a thriller book, okay? And there's a little prequel, yeah, that someone can read, and then at the end, do you want to read more? Well, here's the link, and it will take them through to the book that you are trying to sell. But it doesn't have to be short stories. It could be things like guides, you know, lists. It could even be sort of like a download of, like, say, colouring book pages or puzzle book pages, depending on what your book is. Now, I have got some fantastic links there for you to look at. Obviously, we've got booklinker.com, which will relate to creating a universal book link. Now, that's completely for free, so check that out. You can create your own DIY book cover on Kittle, and Kittle is like a fantastic alternative to Canva, except whereas if you use Canva you can get your KDP account banned, Kittle you won't. Kittle you can use for your Amazon KDP book cover, so I would strongly recommend checking that out. And to create these kind of digital freebies, these magnets, yeah, you can give them away on Gumroad, okay? Now, you can kind of create these. It just could be an Excel spreadsheet. So, for instance, what I'm going to do to demonstrate this is this presentation that I'm doing here, I'm going to put that on Gumroad for people to download, okay? Because there is some useful links at the end of this video. Okay, so convincing people to buy your book, and the most important thing is social validation, okay? You need reviews on your book so people trust what you have to sell, okay? So for a second, let's just think about the way that you buy things online. You've gone to a particular page that you like a particular product, and it's got 300 5-star reviews, okay? You have a look at a few of those reviews, and it meets your needs. You've got trust in that, okay? Now, if you clicked on there and it's only got one review and it's 2.5 stars and someone's like, terrible, stay away from it, then you're not going to buy it, are you? Okay, so social validation is very, very important. The next thing is an emotive description. Okay, so explain how your book will suit your buyer and how it will make them feel like they are gaining some value. Okay, so we need to make people feel like this product, the feeling that this product is exactly what they need, okay? And when they buy the product, they are ultimately going to get some value from their hard-earned cash, which they have just parted with. The next thing is being easy to buy. And what I mean by that is having your book in every presentation possible. So potentially having an ebook version of your paperback, a hardcover and an audiobook. Now, if you have got a low content book, then obviously you're not going to be able to have an audiobook, are you? But you could have a hardcover, yeah? If you have got a non-fiction ebook, well then there's no reason why you can't have a paperback, a hardcover and an audiobook, because remember, we are cutting down the amount of people who could be potentially interested in your book if people read with their ears and not with their eyes, for example. So the last thing to convince people to buy your book is visual impact, okay? And that is making use of the editorial reviews section and A+ content for branding / feature highlighting, okay? So the editorial reviews section is fantastic because you can handpick out of your pool of reviews the ones that you want to show people, the things that you want to highlight about the book, which you think are going to help convert your book into some sales, okay? And A+ content is basically putting images onto your book, okay? Now, the A+ content modules are fantastic because you can also put things on like links to your other books and stuff like that. So if people have found your book and it's not quite what they're looking for, one of your other books might be, okay? So A+ content is great for that, okay? And it's also great for further highlighting of features which they might have missed if people have skipped past the description and things like that. Right, okay, so to increase your social validation by getting reviews, then the simple way of doing that is going on Pubby, yeah? So if you go onto Pubby, follow this link, you can actually get reviews by helping other authors get reviews themselves, okay? And if you wanted to optimize your Amazon book page, well, why don't you check out my most popular course? Now, this is a low content course, yeah, but it does have all the information there which is directly relatable to high content books as well, okay? Now, the cost of this course, you know, is probably less than a pizza, okay? So it's worth a punt if you want to learn about how to optimize your book page, okay? And the last thing that I want to just point out here is that I've got some further free tutorials, tools, guides and support for you self-publishers, okay? Now the first lot of things I've got here are videos, other tutorials which I have done on my YouTube channel. Now all this is free, so I've got things like 5 things to avoid when publishing books on Amazon KDP, how to market your KDP books like a boss, 5 easy ways to get more sales for your Amazon KDP books, how to find keywords for Amazon KDP, how to get reviews on Amazon KDP, the Review Doctor, okay? And I think these 5 videos support everything that we have been talking about in the relationships between awareness, clicks and sales. So go and check those out. Now, I have also got lots of free KDP guides, templates and keyword lists and even tools at benmcqueeney.com. And as you can see, this takes you to my Gumroad store, and as you can see, all these things here are completely free downloads. So look, there's one there for A+ content, which is just a free template. You know, we've got kind of sales formulas, notebook keywords, step-by-step publishing templates and things like that, okay? Niche finder tool. All this stuff is for free. All you've got to do is just download it. And lastly, I have 2 Facebook groups there which will help you if you've got any specific questions, okay? So I've got a self-publishing help group and a low-content self-publishing help group, so go and join both of those too. I hope you found that video useful. If you did, please leave this video a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do that. Now, if you have watched this video all the way to the end, I want you to put a comment in the comment section under this video which just simply says, yes mate, yeah? Because that's going to confuse people who haven't watched it all the way to the end, and I find that hilarious. So let's do that, yes mate. And until next time, bye.